today I'm going to do a full face hack, which is highlight and contour tutorial using Mascara Beauty, which is what I always use in all of my tutorials. And it's also something that I can virtually color match you for. So the brush that I'm using right now is the Buffy brush, and I'm going into my main highlight color. So highlight and contour is what's going to work together to create your foundation with this line of makeup, and they're cream based. So the nice thing about creams is that they stay movable with your face. If they settle in fine lines and wrinkles, which I don't know a foundation that doesn't. The difference with these is that it's not going to crack and dry. So for instance, I have some fine lines under my eyes that it tends to settle in after a little bit. So what I do is buff that out with my ring finger, and then I'm good to go. I don't have to reapply. It just redistributes the product. So this makeup is really great for mature skin. It's really great for dry skin, all skin types, oily skin like mine. With oily skin, I just recommend using a loose setting powder. To conceal underneath my eyes, I'm using that same highlight and just using my ring finger. Now I'm going to flip the brush over. All of our brushes are double-ended, and using that smaller side, I'm going into my contour color. So again, these are the two colors that I will virtually color match you for because they look so different in the tin than they do on your skin. And to apply my contour, I'm going to start under my cheekbone. So you just want to find just underneath that cheekbone where the hollow starts and stipple the contour on there. Then you're going to go in your hairline with it and make sure that you blend up into your hairline so you don't have a weird line there. And then coming down to my jaw, I'm going to contour my jawline as well. So the purpose of contour is to create shadows and create a killer bone structure and just accentuate what you have. With nose contouring, this is optional, but if you do want to straighten or slim your nose or just add a little bit more dimension or definition, then you're just going to bring the contour down the sides of your nose. What I'm doing now, flipping the brush back over, is applying a highlight shade that's about 2 or 3 shades lighter than the main highlight I applied all over my face. So this is just going to brighten up this triangle area of my face, basically my T-zone and underneath my eyes. It's looking pretty scary, but that's okay. This is what we want because it's going to blend out beautifully, which you'll see in just a moment. So this is the Perfector sponge, better than any beauty blender you've ever used. And I have it damp and blending it out. So I'm not dragging this across my face. I'm using more of a tapping motion. But see how beautifully that blends out after looking as scary as it was. So the contour should be visible, but not super visible. So it should just be shadow-like. Once I've got all that blended out, I'm going to apply my blush to the apple of my cheek. If you smile, it helps to push that out so you know exactly where to put it. So right now, you're going to want to think of a clown, right? How they have that circle and super dark, weird blush on their cheeks. We're going to do that, and then we're going to blend it out just like we did with the color before. So this color is Nude. This is one of my favorites. It's the most versatile, good for all seasons. Now I'm dipping my finger into my illuminator, which in most other makeup lines would be called the highlight or highlighter. Since we call our highlight part of the foundation, we call this an illuminator. And this is just going to add a little bit of extra glow to certain areas of your face. So I like to put it right above my blush, on my nose, and then on my Cupid's bow. The reason I put on my Cupid's bow is to create a little bit more of a fuller pouty lip. And then the same thing with the contour that I just put underneath my bottom lip. Now back to my Perfector sponge, I'm going to use the larger, flatter end of that to blend out my blush. Now here's my favorite setting powder for oily skin. It's by Tarte. You can get it at Ulta or Sephora, and it's called Smooth Operator. So the brush that I'm using now to apply it is called the B Squared Bronzer and Blush Brush. Using the large end of that is great for bronzing, great for loose setting powder, and great for blush as well. What I did there was go back in with my Perfector sponge just to get a little bit of the setting powder off of my blush so that my cheek doesn't get washed out. And now I'm going to tap the smaller end of the Perfector sponge into my loose setting powder and apply that underneath my eyes for a little extra staying power. And then because I love illuminator so much, I'm also taking that end of the Perfector sponge and just brightening up that illuminator I did before. This brush is called the Blend and Tap, and it's really great for concealing. And also, if you would rather not use your ring finger to apply your under eye concealer, this is great for this as well. But it just gives the perfect coverage without removing too much or leaving it too cakey. So this brush is really great for that. Again, this is called the Blend and Tap. Now I've grabbed the Eyeshadow Everything brush and I'm going to apply my eyeshadow with that. So the nice thing about these compacts is they're customizable. So you get a blank compact and you get to fill it with the colors that you want. Everything's magnetic, and then when something runs out, you pop it out and pop a new one in. So what I'm doing now is taking the fluffier end of that brush and applying the color Bend and Snap all over my lid. And then I'm going in with Lullaby now on my crease. A trick with hooded or deep set eyes is to come up above your crease just a little bit so that we don't lose that beautiful color. Now I've flipped the brush over and I'm going to go in with Kin on the outer corners. On the outer corners, I like to do this in more of a V shape and then bring it down underneath my lower lash line just a little bit for more dimension. And blend, blend, blend. So you'll see in just a second here, I'm gonna flip the brush back over to that fluffy end once I've got this darker color where I like it, to blend everything out. Now this is the Hotline brush. So it has a spoolie on one side and an angled brush on the other. So it's really great for brows and also for any type of a liquid eyeliner or the cream eyeliner, which we have called Black Friday. First thing I'm gonna do is take my Thrive Cosmetics eyebrow pencil and line the bottom half of my lashes up to, my eyebrow up to my arch. And then I'm gonna continue the arch on the top part of my brow and then fill in from there. So this is kind of mapping it out without making it too harsh. Now this pen is magical, especially if your eyebrows are a little bit thin. This is from Glossier. It's their Brow Flick pen. And I like to do this on the inner part of my brows. The felt part of this pen is super fine, so you can create hair-like strokes. So it just can make the inner part of your brows a little fuller, and then I bring it up just a little bit so it's a nice even line. But just think of microblading with this pen. Now I'm going to go in with the other end of that brush, the angled part, and my eyeshadow called Bird from Mascara to lightly fill in the rest of my brows and just soften up the pencil that I used and the pen. And as you'll notice, I'm kind of going in an upward motion, and then I'm going to brush it in an upward motion as well, just to make it nice and soft and a little fluffier. Then I'm going to set it with NYX Control Freak Clear Brow Gel. Now I'm going to go in with my favorite lash primer from Dior and apply this to both of my bottom lashes first. I don't want to let this dry for too long, so I go right in with my favorite mascara as soon as I get that applied, which is Tarte Gifted. This goes on like butter. It's my favorite. I've tried other ones and I still come back to this time and time again. It's really great for oily skin too. You don't have that transfer that you get with a lot of other mascaras. Now for the top lashes, since these take a little bit longer to do, I'm not gonna do both eyes at the same time. I'm gonna go in first with my lash primer on one, and then go in with my mascara, and I'll do this on each one. A trick with applying mascara to your upper lashes is to wiggle it at the base to deposit a little bit more of the mascara so you get a more definition and a darker line there, and then blink to bring it up the rest of your lashes. Now I'm going to go in with my favorite lip liner from Thrive Cosmetics. The color of this one is called Gislin. It's their plum mauve color. So I like to push my lips out just a little bit, but keep them relaxed. It just helps you to line them better when they're more relaxed and not pulling them tight. So I line and then fill a little bit. And then I'm going to go in with Petal, which is a lip and cheek color from Mascara. I really like this better for the lips than the cheeks because it gives you that perfect baby pink lip. So I'm just patting that on with my ring finger. And we are good to go. If you guys have any questions or want to be virtually color matched, then shoot me a message or click the link that I've included to get color matched online, and I would love to help you.